Have you seen the menu? I want to see it. It's on my list of things I want to see, but probably never will. So instead, I just keep reading the Wikipedia synopses for all these movies that I'll probably never see. You guys ever seen Francis, huh? Me neither. I know every story beat, though. Hey, I did... I can't believe I hadn't mentioned this yet. While shaving on Friday, I think, I watched 35-40 minutes of White Noise, the new Noah Baumbach movie featuring Adam Driver, Greta Gerwig, Don Cheadle, Andre 3000. It's a star-studded cast. I don't think in my life I have ever... It's been a long time since I have hated a movie as much as I hated this. I know that a lot of, like, because I went to... As soon as let me put it this way. I got 40 minutes in, and then I said, I'm not finishing this. So I Wikipedia'd the synopsis of what happens in the story and went, okay. And then I went to IMDb figuring that this was going to be like one of the most hated movies of the year. And it has like a 6.2 or something like that, which is actually respectable. I hated every second of watching it. I hated the way the people talked. It was like if somebody saw a Yorgos Lanthimos film and tried to copy it, but without having any of the panache. You were pogging from I'm Thinking of Ending Things? No, not true. I'm thinking of ending things. I'm, to be honest with you, I think that I probably hate that movie more than White Noise, because I watched the whole thing. I'm Thinking of Ending Things made me want to, it made me want to stop watching movies forever. That movie's fucking sick. I'm sorry, I didn't take a film studies class. I never built up a callus for watching boring content by sitting in a crowded auditorium and watching the film Wavelength, where it starts with a zoomed-in shot of somebody's apartment door, spends 22 minutes zooming out, slightly pans to the right, and then zooms back in on another part of the apartment. You've made this joke before? Yeah? I've also seen the movie White Noise before. It was called I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Thank you for reminding me of that awful movie. There are dozens of us who enjoy intellectual movies, but also would prefer if they had some entertainment value as well. Don't even get me started. 3 most hated movies I've seen in the last, I don't know, probably 5 years. White Noise is definitely up there. I'm Thinking of Ending Things is the second for sure. A machete? A katana? The third is High Life, the science fiction movie also featuring Andre 3000 and Robert Pattinson that seems to delight in boring the viewer. Have you seen Margin Call, though? Now that is a movie, dude. Margin Call, that's a fucking movie. I can't take your opinion seriously because you cried during Black Panther. You seem to be taking my opinion because you're here watching the stream 3 years, 4 years, 5 years after that anecdote first took place. So you seem to be willfully taking my opinion seriously for whatever reason. I'm not saying you should, but you're here nonetheless. So you didn't cry? No, I did, but like the older you get, I mean, let me put it this way. You're gonna start crying like all the time. The older you get, the more you're gonna cry. It's just the way of the world, man. You start to cry at, you know, sentimental advertisements. I only cry in good movies. That's gonna change. Wait until you reach, like, you know, age 34, and then you see the end of Hot Tub Time Machine. There's so many movies I've seen where, while watching it, I was like, this shit is bad and boring. And then at the end, they play, like, Once in a Lifetime or something like that and do, like, a montage of someone getting their life together. And I'm like, I mean, I still hate this shit, but I'm crying for sure. Like, it's so inspiring. I cried during that movie about the St. Louis Rams quarterback. You cried during the Kurt Warner movie? I haven't seen that. And in all likelihood, I never will. But that's an inspiring story, right? Nobody thought he could do it, man. And then miraculously, he gets a call from, Mike McCarthy? Hold on, I knew this at one point. Don't ink me. And now cried at Avatar? I have not seen Avatar yet. One day. The new one? I haven't seen the new one. I haven't seen the old one. I haven't seen the prequel, also known as The First Airbender. I haven't seen The Last Airbender. I haven't seen the M. Night Shyamalan debasement of the franchise. I've never seen any film with Avatar in its title. And I believe that that's true. I am a little familiar with Ultima 7, the Shroud of the Avatar, but that's it. Weren't you vibing to new movies in 2009? Yeah, that was during a period where I went to the theater to see like a lot of movies by myself. But to be honest, what happened, and I've apologized because people have definitely heard this story before. Avatar came out like Christmas 2009-ish. And all of my friends and housemates went home to their ancestral homes, largely in the greater Toronto area. They all saw Avatar independently. And when they came back, they were like, you gotta see it. It's such an experience. And I was like, do you want to go see it with me? And they're like, no, not really. I already saw it. By the way, you absolutely, 100%, you have to see it in the theater. You have to see it in the theater. So I procrastinated, didn't see it in the theater, and then the shit was not in the theater anymore. And I was like, I guess I'm never going to see it. Because they said you will never be able to have an experience like seeing this movie in the theater. As soon as it came out on DVD, I was like, well, I guess I missed my window. And just like that, exactly, 13 years go by. A million little nights and days go by. You had 6 months? Bro, are you James Cameron? What are you so pressed one person hasn't seen Avatar? It is crazy. Someone posted like it was, I don't know what, just a graphic. It's not like an infographic, but it was like, here's all the movies that have ever made over $1 billion. Which one is the most surprising? And honestly, looking at all of them, I gotta say, I still think it's Avatar 1. Avatar 2 making over $1 billion is not that surprising because Avatar 1 made so much money. But the first Avatar becoming like the highest grossing movie of all time is a crazy story. Because like, I didn't know anybody who was excited for the movie at all. And then like a year after it came out, I feel like I've not heard anybody talking about it until the sequel came. I mean, we had like 7 years of James Cameron making the sequels and people being like, we don't want this. And then the sequel came out, it had $1 billion. It crossed $1 billion like silently. Anyway, I'm not anti-Avatar, I've never seen it. All the other movies that have made $1 billion made like perfect sense. The live action remake of like The Lion King, the live action remake of Aladdin, like 7 Marvel movies, Top Gun Maverick, those all made sense to me. Avatar 1 seems like a crazy underdog story.